Hello there again. It's good to be with you on Connect Africa here on the JoyNews channel, coming to you live from our studios here in Accra, Ghana. Tonight, the focus is simple. It's on African football as the much-coveted African Championship progresses to its round of 16 stage. We'll tell you all about the excitement, sounds, and also what the impending implications are for the football sector across the continent. We'll talk all about that. Plus, the controversy is also coming up right here on Connect Africa. We'll tell you all about it. But first, we give you a wrap of some of the major stories making the headlines across Africa.
Central African Republic's President Faustin Archange Touadéra has been re-elected to a third term, according to provisional results. The electoral authority said Touadéra won more than 76% of the vote, while his opponent Anicet Georges Dologuele came second with 15%. Henri-Marie Dondra was third with 3%. Touadéra ran on a platform of steadying the nation by bringing warring groups to the table. Some 2.4 million Central African Republic citizens were registered to vote in the first-of-its-kind election in the country, where citizens voted simultaneously for all tiers of government, including presidential, legislative, regional, and municipal seats. Turnout was around 52%. At least 22 migrants have been killed and 65 others injured after a lorry they were traveling in overturned in Ethiopia's northeastern Afar region. About 85 Ethiopian migrants were traveling along the eastern migration route when the lorry overturned in the town of Semera on Tuesday morning. Their final destination was unclear, but the route typically runs from Ethiopia through Djibouti, across the Red Sea to Yemen, and onward to Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern countries. Yemen is a major pathway for migrants from the Horn of Africa traveling to Gulf states in search of work. The trial of 45 people charged in connection with a 2020 attack on a military checkpoint resumed in Côte d'Ivoire's anti-terrorism court on Monday. The defendants are accused of participating or assisting the attack that killed 14 soldiers at Kafolo on the border with Burkina Faso. They include the alleged leader of the unit that carried out assault and the father of an alleged perpetrator who is accused of helping his son flee. Authorities are hoping the trial will help them better understand the activities and recruitment networks of jihadist groups in the region. The Kafolo attack came weeks after Ivorian and Burkinabe security forces destroyed a jihadist base in Alidogo, Burkina Faso. Despite ongoing security threats in the West African region, political stability and economic growth have largely kept jihadist groups at bay in Côte d'Ivoire, according to the International Crisis Group. The hearing was adjourned and will resume on the 19th of January.
Safe to say now that we move away from the controversies of politics, isn't it, and focus right on what's been happening across the continent in terms of sports. And this time round is about the AFCON 2025. Well, it's 2025, but we've moved that tournament right into 2026 with the round of 16 now happening, and it's all because of some delays, which eventually paved way for activities to happen in Morocco. As you see some shots on your screens now pointing out to some of the thrilling actions and goals that we've witnessed throughout the tournament. But the tournament itself has a wider implication for football across the continent. So let's dig in and find out what's been the exciting news about AFCON this year and what's likely to happen in the coming years. Unfortunately, Ghana is not part. Razak Musbah is joining us with the Joy Sports team. So yeah, I know you're disappointed the Black Stars is not.
Yeah, of course, we're all disappointed ordinarily. I mean, not sure that I remember the last time, you know, I watched the AFCON without looking forward to Ghana's games. Of course, in the last two editions where they were there, it was poor performance, exiting it from the group stage. And there was always the hope that they would get another opportunity to appease Ghanaians, but they missed out this time around. And it explains why a lot of Ghanaians haven't quite enjoyed the AFCON. There are those who are still asking, is there an AFCON actually happening? You know, because Black Stars are not there. But I'm sure they found a way to appease Ghanaians.
The irony, though, when you have the Black Stars qualifying for the World Cup and not for AFCON.
Yeah, that's a very strange irony, because ordinarily you would think that qualifying for the World Cup would be difficult compared to the AFCON, where you have at least 32 teams, you know, assembling at the tournament. But unfortunately, the Black Stars couldn't make it, and it's only a reality that dawned on them. And some say it explains why they did they did improve their performance to qualify for the World Cup, because just after they failed to qualify for the AFCON, they had about 4 games for the World Cup, and they needed to change the
so many unique things about this year's tournament, with many raging questions. Some notable faces that we'll get to them. But let's start off from why it's AFCON 2025 in 2026.
Yeah, so ordinarily, the tournament was supposed to happen much earlier in the year, right? We're talking much earlier in the year, sometime around March thereabout. Okay, it was supposed to happen in March thereabout. But there was some conversations at the very highest level, engaging FIFA and some European bodies also, and that forced the AFCON to be held in the latter part of December through to January, all right? So it was really the hope that they will have it the mid-year, so that they will close their 2025 calendar with it. But unfortunately, particularly because of the Club World Cup that FIFA organized, that also meant that they had to push the AFCON into December and then travel into January. And that's why we have it the way we have it now. But going forward, they are hoping that they can have it mid-year, all right, so that they can exhaust it within that very
Okay, so clarify that for us. So what's likely to happen? You have this running from 2025, late 2025 into 2026. Then there's another tournament this year.
So what's going to happen is that basically we have another tournament indeed coming up. And that's going to come up next year. All right, that's going to come up
not this year.
Yeah, so what's happening is that, so you had 2025, which is supposed to happen, and the tournament was going to be held every 2 years. So 2025, and then 2027, you have another tournament. Okay, so because the AFCON is being held every 2 years. However, because this has ended in 2026, so we end it, then we'll start the qualifiers for the tournament next year. But CAF is also now going back to what they had prior to 2018, which is the 4-year run of the tournament. So after 2027, the next tournament we're going to have is going to be after the next 4 years.
Oh, so it's now switching from 2 to 4.
Exactly. So from 2 to 4. And now CAF is reintroducing that, what do you call it, method, because they are reintroducing a new format now, which they are calling the African Nations League. It's a completely new tournament they are putting together now.
So the format will completely change.
It's going to change. So from the 2 years that we are seeing now, it's going to move to 4 years. So the AFCON after 2027 is going to be played every 4 years.
Do you see the euphoria? And would you blame that on CAF, by the way, the regulator for football across Africa?
Well, I think they are learning a lot. They are picking lessons from what's happened in Europe, because in Europe, they've got what they call the Nations League. All right? It's like a league. It's like the Ghana Premier League. So you have countries.
So you keep playing.
So you play every
until you lead.
Exactly. Until you win, you get to the you accumulate enough points that you win the tournament. All right. You get to a point that you get to play semi-finals, then you play finals, then you win the ultimate. And that format is being implemented in Europe. And CAF has looked at the model and they say, well, this is great. We'd love to implement it in Africa. So you're going to see the Black Stars playing every year. If they happen to be in a group with Nigeria, they'll visit Nigeria. Nigeria will come here, and that will be a league format, just like the Ghana Premier League you are used to, the English Premier League you are used to. That's going to be introduced.
Well, will that have the same excitement and level of, exciting the base, the fans? Because football, there's that element of the fan base that you always want to have.
If you look at it, when it comes to national team football, almost everybody loves to see their national team play. Whether it is once a year, twice a year, even it's 10 times a year. People love to see their national teams play. Like the Black Stars, for instance. Everybody will love to see the Black Stars play. So, yes, the excitement is going to be there, because it's going to be a bit more opportunity for you to see your national team play. Because while they are playing this tournament, World Cup qualifiers that they have to play, they will still play it. AFCON qualifiers that they have to play, they still play it. The friendlies that teams themselves will organize, they will still play. So much more football for the national teams.
And probably will give the opportunity to more people to feature on the national team. But lots of excitement. Probably this is a match between...
This was Egypt and Benin. That was the game that was played yesterday. It was the round of 16 game. Egypt won that game. It was a very cagey game, to be fair. Cagey game, yes. Egypt ended up winning.
But so many disappointments, actually. And I was just going to point you to what happened to Gabon, for instance. This is a national team that could not scale through the group stages. And then you have the central government, the president saying, look, let's dissolve this team. Aubameyang is now out of the team.
I mean,
would that affect the national team or the federation there?
Well, for the federation, will not affect the federation, all right, because the government did not touch the federation, and FIFA is very clear about government and the Football Federation's relationship. It's the government should have zero influence or say in how the federations run their football. The national team belongs to the government, and the government can decide whatever they want to do with
also, so a country can decide that, look, we're off with our national team. We're taking everybody home. Yeah,
you can decide. You don't want to play, you don't want to play. If you don't want to play, also what it means that there will be consequences, because then you are, causing some bit of chaos in terms of FIFA and CAF's calendar. So they will obviously punish you if you decide to cause a bit of chaos there. But in the case of Gabon, the federation is not going to suffer anything. But even in the case of Gabon, central government simply said they are suspending the national team. They said they are suspending them.
Was it really a fair decision, or you feel this is, well, a political class taking advantage of the disappointment of the fans?
Well, exactly. That's what is happening. This is a clear case of the political class trying to appease the fans, you know, trying to let the fans feel that, yeah, we empathize with you, we understand how you feel. I'm not too sure what the conditions are in Gabon at the moment, but it does appear that the government at the day is just trying to let the people know we side with you. But Gabon themselves, if you talk about their performance at the tournament, it was completely poor, absolutely poor. And they were one of the sides that a lot of people had high hopes for, because in the World Cup qualifier, they did so well. They did so well. They came second. They were only second to Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast were just exceptional in their group. Gabon would have made it to the World Cup, all right? And people were looking at that performance that Gabon did in the World Cup qualifiers and felt that, look, they had a good say. They were going to do well at the AFCON. But unfortunately, they could not win a single game.
Why the fixation on Aubameyang?
Yeah, because he's the superstar of the team. He's like...
Be fair to him, it was a team. It was a team.
Fair enough. Aubameyang is like Cristiano Ronaldo to Portugal. All right? He's a big boy. All right? But, however, the concerns that were raised has to do with his attitude. All right. The national team has had a bit of issues with his attitude. There were times that he's left the team's camp without notifying anybody. This time around, he was not available for their last game. He played the first game, he played the second game. After the time they were going to play the third game, it was already confirmed that Gabon would not qualify. So, according to him, he said he was injured and he traveled to France. He left to France while the team was...
Without notice to the team?
Well, basically he said he was injured.
Strange things happen.
You know, he said he was injured and he flew to France. He said he was going to France to get treatment. But the concern was that you are one of the seniors in the team. Yes, the team has not performed. We know that, the final game, whether you win or draw, you are not going to qualify. Just stay with the team and come back together. But you decided to leave the team. So even if you're injured, you can stay with them. And one more game and then you fly. But he left. And I think the federation felt that, the government felt that, no, that is not the way to go. So they decided to ban him completely from the team. And even for Aubameyang, he's not going to be so worried about it, because this was his last game.
For the national team?
For the national team. So, you know, for the last, he's played.
But not a good way to leave the national team.
Yeah, definitely not a good way to leave the national team. So,
but they had a better chance, you believe?
Well, I think they could have done well. I'm just not too sure what went wrong for them. You know, it's just surprising how they faltered the way they did, because they were in the same group with Mozambique and they even lost to Mozambique. You know, it was surprising how they decided to fare the way they did. But I'm sure they will regroup, because they've got some really talented players there. They will regroup. Great. See the way forward.
And another highlight, was that yesterday? You know, what's this whole story about Osimhen? Because we're seeing some of the visuals. Probably you have that on the screen. I mean, he wasn't happy. He's now fighting teammates in the Nigerian Super Eagles team.
I mean, I was just monitoring the conversation among Nigerians, and everybody is disappointed with his behavior. It's just completely uncalled for. You know, for a player of his caliber, nobody expect that from him.
Well, what actually happened?
So what happened was that in the game, he has scored 2 goals in the game. All right, so there's him and there's Ademola Lookman. They are basically the stars of the tournament for Nigeria so far. Ademola Lookman has scored 4 goals in the tournament so far. He has 3 assists. All right, you've got Osimhen, who has 3 goals and has got 1 assist. In that very game, Osimhen scored 2 goals. All right, then there was a certain play where apparently there was an opportunity for a pass to be given to him, where he was in a better position to score. Then the pass was not handed to him, and because of that, he got upset that why was the pass not handed to him. In fact, the ball was with one other player called Bruno in the Nigerian team. He was supposed to release the pass, but he decided to do what he wanted to do with the ball, and Osimhen got upset. Then Ademola Lookman went to confront Osimhen that, bro, calm down. And as at this point, they were leading 3 goals to 0. The Lookman went to tell him to calm down. And in trying to calm him down, then Osimhen got upset with Lookman. And basically, he did not want to play the game again. The moment he got upset, he was telling the coach that they should substitute him.
Yeah, but what's the big deal for footballers and scoring, by the way? I mean, yeah, eventually that's what you'd want to do as a team.
I mean, I've heard...
Is it much more about the individual, or it's much more about the team celebrating?
It has to be about the team. It has to be about the team. But I've heard some make the excuse that Osimhen is a passionate player. Of course, as a striker, he always wants to score. But the point is, you've already scored 2 goals in the game. The team is winning by 3-0. Yeah. If for anything at all, you can keep that energy. You go to the dressing room, you can just tap in the back, we could have even scored more goals here and there, all right? But he got upset, and he did not want to play. In fact, he signaled the head coach that he should be substituted. And the head coach, in fact, decided not to mind him. Yeah. And even when the team was attacking, he did not want to involve himself. And the head coach realized that, no, he has to take him out. And everybody is criticizing him. In fact, we understand that after the game in the dressing room, the head coach spoke about it. And it does appear that there's been some understanding. Yeah. Some were expecting that he would come out and apologize. He's still yet to apologize. It looks like he might not do that, and they'll move on. But clearly, it was a completely uncalled for. If K is not taking, that might be their undoing. That might be undoing. Nigeria themselves have been excellent in this tournament. The group stage, they won all their games in the group stage, 9 points straight. Round of 16 was an emphatic victory against Mozambique, 4-0. Yeah. And they're going to the quarterfinals now. And they are one of the favorites. They played in the final the last time. And everybody's looking at Nigeria as one of the teams that can win it. But if you have... Oh, I think they have the quality to win. But if they have this kind of issues among them, then, they just might...
Yeah, well, it'll be a great, offset for Nigeria, knowing that we'll be teasing them when we head to the US and Mexico.
Yeah, they need to play together, if not...
Canada, and they're only jubilating about AFCON.
Yeah, they really want to win it. They really want to win it.
Just to
they really want to win
Nigerian brothers, they're really missing out in the World Cup. Yeah, this is the incident I was talking
that was
about.
the incident. And you could see.
It's not acceptable in national...
No, it's not, because it's not about you. Yeah. It's not about the individual. Yeah. You are representing the country, all right? And everything you are exhibiting there,
should be a team spirit.
Exactly, and you are representing Nigeria. And this kind of attitude, and that's what surprises people. Look at it. 63rd minute, Nigeria was leading 3-0. There was nothing else to be.
It's a safe slide for Nigeria.
Exactly, they were winning. So quite unfortunate, but...
let's feed all of this into, the World Cup, because now you have some footballers playing in this tournament, and they are going to have another heavy schedule later this year.
Yeah,
for the World Cup.
I think this year is definitely one of the busiest for some of these players. Definitely one of the busiest for some of these players. The likes of Algeria, they've made it to the World Cup. Tunisia is in there. South Africa has qualified for the World Cup. South Africa, of course, they have exited the tournament. They lost in the round of 16 against Cameroon. They've qualified to the World Cup, so at least now they've exited. They will get some time to rest. Morocco is still in there. They've made it to the World Cup. Then most of these players, when they are done, they will go and join their respective clubs, go and play, whether those who are playing for Chelsea, those who are playing for Manchester United. This man, for instance, he's playing for, Atalanta. He's going to go back and play for Atalanta to the end of the season.
So it's a heavy schedule.
It's a heavy schedule for most of them. It's a heavy schedule for most of them. But, of course, he's not playing the World Cup, so he can get to rest. So it's going to be a lot of football. So just after the season ends in May, then they go play for the World Cup.
Okay, let's do this, then we'll look at the future of football and possibly what the implications will be post-AFCON. And possibly which of the teams here you feel will make an inroad when it comes to the World Cup. But look at it. This is the whole map out.
Yeah.
What's
so
your
in the round
best
of
bet
16,
now?
so Mali played Tunisia. Mali won that game. And Senegal and Sudan also played. Kosi Apia is handling Sudan. Senegal defeated Sudan. So in the quarterfinals, we have Mali versus Senegal. This is going to be a big game. It's a big game. 2 French sides. It's going to be an exciting game.
West African brothers.
And on the right, you see South Africa and Cameroon. It was a really exciting game. Cameroon ended up winning that. But
Morocco, though, there's little talk about Morocco this year.
Morocco, yes, they started slow. They started slow. Even in the game against Morocco, Tanzania, it was quite a difficult one for them, but they managed to sail through. They have a bigger test against Cameroon now. They have a bigger test against Cameroon. This is going to be a bigger test for them in the quarterfinals.
Your best bet, basically?
I mean, to advance to the quarterfinals or make it all the way to the finals. I mean, I'm just looking at it from this side. Later tonight, you have Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso playing. Later tonight. All right? And we'll see what will happen here. Now, I'm looking at it, and one of the teams that is exciting me here is Egypt and Senegal. So I'm suspecting Egypt and Senegal will make it to the semi-final. And I have a strong backing for Senegal to make it to the final.
Let's see how it goes.
I have a strong backing for Senegal
to make it to the final. Let's see how it goes. So, future of football in Africa? You feel, I mean, this has been a good tournament. It will indeed boost morale for the upcoming
Yeah, I think absolutely it will boost morale for the upcoming World Cup, because you look at most of the teams that have made it to the quarterfinal. I think about 6 of them are in the World Cup. Morocco is there, Senegal is there, Egypt is there, Cote d'Ivoire is there, Algeria is in the World Cup. So this is a very good preparation for the teams as they look forward to the World Cup. Of course, the World Cup is a different ballgame altogether, but the quality we are seeing in the AFCON, it should give every African...
Let me try some permutation here. Egypt, Morocco, possibility for finals?
Oh, really? It can happen. Egypt is here. I mean, because Egypt is going to face the winner of Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso. All right? Egypt is going to face the winner of Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso. And eventually the winner of Egypt, of Cote d'Ivoire, or Burkina Faso.
But I'm saying that possibly looking at all of this side, they're the strongest now.
I mean, well, I wouldn't say they're the strongest. If you want to talk about the strongest among the teams here,
you go for Senegal.
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire will stand first. Senegal will come second. Egypt will come maybe third. All right, but of course they've got a chance. They've got some quality there, but they're not the strongest per se. They're not entirely the strongest. On this side, you've got Cameroon, Morocco. You've got Algeria, DR Congo. DR Congo is a really interesting side. That game is underway as we speak. Algeria, DR Congo is still playing.
If Nigeria makes it to the finals, we know what will happen on social media for sure. Anyway, so we've got to go. What should football fans expect from across the continent going into this year?
Well, I think it's going to be exciting because this year, of course, we've got the CAF Champions League. That's also happened. The CAF Confederations Cup will happen. The AFCON is also going to be wrapping up. There are a few also under 20 tournament that will be taking place. So much football to look forward to this year. But I think the biggest of all of them is going to be Africa's performance at the World Cup, and 9 teams that have qualified for the World Cup to represent Africa. We're waiting to see how well they will do. Ghana is there. How will Ghana fare? We already know our group. All the African teams know their group. So we're just going to wait and see how they'll fare. The last time Morocco did us proud, making it to the semi-finals was incredible. Let's see if there's any team that can replicate that success.
You know, I missed my opportunity for selection.
You know,
training.
Yeah, you missed it completely. You're completely out. We can add you to the technical team.
My goodness. That's all time last here on Connect Africa and Bless Us God. We'll see you again. Until then, log on to myjoyonline.com. Musbah and the team will be on the Joy News channel, bringing you all of the updates about AFCON and hopefully the World Cup going later into this year. It's a wrap from us. We'll see you again. Bye.